Hello, darling. This is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and you're listening to the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter Show.
I asked the gods for inspiration. They showed me the end of time. World collapsing, devastation. inspiration. They showed me the end of time. World collapsing, devastation.
right, guys. It's Sunday night again. The mics are hot. We're live in studio. I can smell the sex in the air, actually. I can.
Oh, no.
I can. That's what I added, baby. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. We are in studio. Listeners around the world, thanks for joining us on what's sure to be another great episode of your Ghostman and Demon Hunter show.
You know, you really scare me sometimes when you come in like that, Sean. I don't know what to expect, and,
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know if you was waiting on me to cue you in, if you thought I was going to play another song. I did not know.
I was napping in my chair, actually, getting ready for a long winter's night, but,
You were like, what's that? I got the call. I had to go, man. I felt it. I felt it in my body. I had to go with it, so I felt really good.
Are you from Paris?
I am.
I thought so, because European.
I'm a European. I'm a European. I'm all over. I'm an international man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all over the place.
But you didn't even get that joke. Oh, man.
European. I get. I'm not peeing.
Yeah,
I'm not peeing. You got to bring the bucket in your office, man. That's
the Gatorade bottle.
You got to bring the puree bottle into the studio, if you will. A little trade secret.
That's not Perrier. Thank you.
Perrier. You said puree. I was just following your lead. Listen, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I like my water to sparkle, thank you.
So we need to clear up some stuff, I think, because some people last week were asking me. Apparently, they don't listen to our show because they were saying they're big fans, but then they said, "Hey, why aren't you guys on this week?" You know, so I tried to explain to them that, guys, we're not going to be on every weekend. You know what I'm saying? We're just not going to be on.
Unfortunately, due to the fact that we had to get real jobs, well, Sean always had one, but I had to go out and get one. Sunday nights now are one of those things where we have to go out and ask to be able to go and do our radio show.
Yes. Or then a Demon Hunter does.
Yes.
You must ask.
At this point, until I win that Powerball. See, I made the mistake. I said, God, I really need to win the Powerball. He said, okay. But I forgot to tell him when. So now I'm just waiting for that Powerball to roll in.
Inconceivable! I know. You should have won a long time ago. You know, I always tell people, we went TV, or basement TV, basement. If you would have won, we would have went TV, HBO, movies. Isn't that how it works?
Oh, so it's my fault now, because I forgot to ask God when I was going to win the Powerball.
We needed to be funded. We needed someone to carry us. We needed rich women. That's what we should have done. A sugar mama.
Have you seen my
wiener? But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. We are back live in studios. The mics are hot. If you don't know where you're at, then you fit in. You fit right in.
Yeah, because none of us really do.
That's it. Hey, tonight's beer of the week, Cerveza Tecate Ticate, as our good friend Scary Jerry would say, since he can't apparently read words of the English language. Letters. He can't sound out letters. That's what he does.
You fellas been doing a bit of booze and have...
This whole board thing's new to me.
Apparently you're catching on fast.
I am, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving doing this, guys. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm controlling the boards right now, so I can play all kinds of funny stuff. You just name it. Just give us some kind of signal, and I will play the sound for you. But what's going on, Demon Hunter? We've been off for 2 weeks. We came back in studio tonight. We didn't think we was going to get the show off hot for you guys because we got some new cables and some new setup, and
we spent 2 hours to figure out we'd had to turn one switch to the left.
A quarter of an inch. Oh well, what are you gonna do, man? That's how we roll. That's our charm. Hoo-ah! So, but anyway, man, I went to today. I had to get up and I had to drive to my youngest son Drake's. He had a wrestling meet today. He's 7 years old.
And he was wrestling.
Yeah, if you guys are friends.
Is that kind of like Greek wrestling where they oil up first?
No, I don't think that. Strong like bull. This was American wrestling, but he still wore the onesie and everything, and he got out there and he got beat twice. But you know, it was the effort he put forth. I'm very proud of him, Demon Hunter. I see my boy do that, and it was like, yeah, you know. His old
I
man.
can just see the dad in the stands yelling for your boy, and his name's Drake, right? It's this was Drakey.
You know that, right? That's Drakey.
So it was Drakey, and you were up there yelling, Drake, 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 Drake. Everybody looked over and said, "Who's that guy?" And they said, "Must be the Ghost Man. He's yelling, drink, drink, drink,
That's it.
drink."
Drake. I talked to the coach actually, man. I think he was a stoner. You know?
Are you a pothead, Falco?
I think he was. I started talking to him. He's like, "Hey, man, what's going on? Your son's great." But I went down there and got to
now is kids wrestling like kids baseball now, where everybody gets to stay in the game till they get a win?
No, and that's what I thought was so amazing, Demon Hunter. Now listen up. I went and it was a double elimination wrestling match. So I had to drive an hour, see my ex-wife, and pay to get in, and my kid got beat twice and we were out. So I had to drive an hour back. Now that's a dead. That's a ghost.
Now I'll tell you, double elimination wrestling. That's how Drakey was born in the first place.
That's it.
Whoa.
Double elimination. It only took one, and it eliminated me.
Took you out of the picture for good.
Took me to my knees, man. But hey, how many people we got in chat tonight? You in chat? Do you see it?
I'm watching. People are listening. We've got several people listening. Ghost Chaser's in there. Thank you, Ghost Chaser.
Hello.
We've got a bunch of people in there listening as guests, but nobody has logged into the chat room yet except Ghost Chaser and myself. So, I don't know who's there.
What's going on with these people?
I tell you. It could be anybody. It could be Barack Obama in there listening to us right now.
No. So what do you think about the gun thing? Hey, everybody's going nuts.
Living so close to it, I've tried to stay out of it a bit because, it's Newtown, and I live in Danbury. I used to live behind the school where the whole thing happened in Newtown, and it sparked the whole conversation up again. And I really, something's got to be done. There's people running around with weapons. What I don't understand is the weapons that are out there right now. Nobody's making laws that make it harder for people to carry those guns. I mean, if you get arrested right now in the state of Connecticut and you're carrying a dagger and a gun, you can get the gun charge thrown right away.
See?
But the dagger, you're going to go to jail for.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Why don't we have laws that say,
idiot,
if you're carrying a gun that's illegal, then you automatically have to face charges for that gun?
Yeah, we don't get too political on this show, but it is goofy. It is kind of goofy.
But you brought up guns.
Yeah, we did.
So I got to talk.
We did.
I've been shot, man. I've been shot, and I've been shot. Well, it was an accident, but still.
Well, if you get caught with your semi-automatic, Demon Hunter, you'll be looking for...
Now let's you just drop them pants.
Yes, jail time.
Let's just get that straight there, Mr. Burris. Just about any pistol sold out there, is pretty much a semi-automatic. That's what pistols are. Otherwise, you would have a revolver. So,
right.
The word semi-automatic all of a sudden made it sound horrible. No, not horrible.
We should get our good friend out there, Jill Nitro.
Oh yeah,
she's a gun enthusiast, man.
Well, let's not give too many names out there with that. People might show up on her door knocking at that point. Going,
that's her code name. It's not like I gave her.
Well, yeah, because there's so many people walking out there with the name Nitro. Come on, let's face it, folks. I kept the name Schoonover.
Well, I don't.
And we went into TV and radio. I mean, right off there, you knew I was playing it risky.
I dare say that's not her Christian name. Nitro.
Nitro.
She should go into WWF. That's a perfect name for that. But anyway, man, this week has been a long week at work and been doing stuff. We've been looking for stories. We've been trying to get things. I heard this funny thing this week, Demon Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah. Now listen to me very closely. There is a town. More to come here as the story develops. But there's a town in Indiana that supposedly is a portal to the other side. They say they got werewolves. They say they got aliens. They said they got it all, man. And I'm thinking road trip G&D style.
Right off the bat, have they come to you about this, Sean? Because if there's a portal on the other to the other side.
Oh, they want me, yeah.
I thought right off the bat they'd come to the Ghost Man and look up his behind.
Well, yeah. You would want to, if I was an alien, I would abduct me. For one, I'm a very attractive man, and I'm sure they want to clone me. I mean, I would, wouldn't you?
Sean was abducted.
That's it.
By an alien, driving a van with a Viking on the side.
I was also going to tell you.
And a bed in the back.
I was actually going to say, have you happened to see, guys, listeners around the world, if you haven't checked it out, if you got Netflix, or if you're near a DVD rental place, or if they even have those anymore, Redbox, I don't know if they have them, The American Scream. I'm going to pimp this. We usually don't do it, Demon Hunter, but it's called The American Scream. It's not a horror movie. It's not a, it's like a real-life documentary. I guess that's what you classify it as. And they did it last year, and it was about 3 different families, and they were what you call home haunters. Now, we've got some requests over the years from the home haunting community, and we've showed up some places, and we've done some charity events and stuff. Now, these people, they're really good people. They put on do you know what a home haunter is?
Well, first of all, I do not know what a home haunter is.
Okay. Let me define it first off. The home haunter, they build a haunt in their home or yard. Yeah.
Yeah, now I see.
That's where they get
I see, Mr. Burris, I see.
Yeah, that's where they get the home and the haunt thing. But, this movie, it follows 3 families, and they're doing this, and they're raising money, and they're just having fun with it, and they do it for the community. And I just really loved it, man. I've watched it like 7 times. You guys got to get it. It's like the most watched thing on Netflix.
Is it now?
It is. And I friended a couple of the guys on Facebook. Great guys. Manny, Victor. I've been talking to the guys. Victor's actually went off on his own, and he had a chance. He's starting his own haunted house. It's called Ghoulie Manor, and it's going to be there in Massachusetts. I don't have it right offhand here. I'll have it by the end of the show. But it's going to be called Ghoulie Manor. And I told him that we're going to give him the support, out that way, because you're out kind of that way, Connecticut.
Yes, I am.
And he's following his dream, and that's what was so cool. He's done this out of his house, and his family stood behind him, and the guy's amazing at making these props and everything. And all 3 of them were just great. All 3 families. So if you guys haven't seen it, you got to go see it. It's a must-see on the Ghost Man's Top 5. So,
on the Ghost Man Top 5, right after Debbie Does...
I was just getting ready to say that. Debbie Does Football. Yeah, absolutely. You got to check that out. But anyway, that's what I got going on. What did you have going on this week, Demon? Or anything?
It's weird. I had a very busy week with my day job. I don't talk about my day job much, but
yeah.
Then I had
about your night job.
When I could fit in time, I was actually reading a new book that I got for Christmas.
Okay.
I just finally had the chance to crack it open, and the spine went as I cracked it open. And it's called Apocalypse Z.
Oh, yeah, he's telling me about this.
It's a Spanish book. It's written in the form of a diary.
Okay.
It started off as a blogger, turns into a diary of somebody surviving the zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
Now, I've had a few moments where I was like, this is a little weird. Some of this stuff sounds like it's being repeated. Mm-hmm. But I have been told that that's due to the translation. Mm-hmm. So, because it was written in Spanish. But it's given me a whole new sense of, fear.
Zombie fear.
Zombie apocalypse.
Right.
Because Sean and I, those of you who are regular listeners, know that Sean and I have argued many a time of who would survive the zombie apocalypse.
Well, there's no argument, little brother. I think we settled that. It's the...
Well, I think you and I both have to take the time to admit that if the zombie apocalypse hit, we would both survive.
Well,
for 2 weeks to 3 months.
Nice set of hooters you got there.
I don't know. Because the first good-looking zombie I see, I'd be done. There's good-looking zombies if you get them fresh, right?
Then we're doomed after that point, man. I don't know. That transformation they talk about in just about every zombie book out there.
Can you imagine that? You'd be walking, hey, what are you doing? Ah! She eat your face off all of a sudden. She turns around.
I'm reading this book and thinking, 2 weeks in, there's no more toilet paper.
Right.
3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, you're out of aspirin, antibiotics, you name it. Right. There's no more.
You have to raid
you know,
haven't you watched The Walking Dead? You have to raid the pharmacies, man. It's a free-for-all.
how are you going to get outside? How are you going to... You know, they always show these people driving the car and they plow down somebody with their car.
Well, thanks to Obama with your revolver.
Yeah, well, you have somebody plow into your car at 50, 60 miles an hour driving down the road. They're going to go right through your windshield, man, and they're just going to be snapping teeth right at you. Yeah, that's my thought exactly. You know, the survival rate drops, man, after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
By 3 months, forget it. You know, if you're planning to hold up in your house, you're doomed.
I don't know. We got some big surprises, though, guys, we're working on for you. For all you zombie lovers out there, stay tuned, because Nate and I have been in contact with some real famous cats, and we're trying to set it up just for you on your G&D show.
That's correct. I mean, but that being the case, like I said, I'm becoming more and more a zombie fanatic.
Yeah.
I'm sure this zombie apocalypse is on its way. I think I'm going to start a cult of zombie apocalypse preparation people.
You know, I what would you call them? Would it be like a ghost hunting group, or?
It's going to be ZAP, Zombie Apocalypse Preparation People.
Preparation H.
That'd be ZAF.
ZAF. You're saying we'd be out of medication. We'd be out of Preparation H, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, think about it.
What?
No toilet paper, those hemorrhoids are going to be the first thing to hit.
That's it.
I tell you.
You're going to be on the run, stressed out.
On the runs.
On the runs, yeah. Oh, well. What are you going to do, man?
The official guardian.
Uh-oh. Hit the wrong one. I'm hitting the wrong ones, Demon Hunter. Let's see here. Here we go. G&D. Wait a second. I did that wrong. Hold on, guys. You got to work with us here.
New toys,
Yeah.
new time.
We got all kinds of new stuff here. I just don't know what to do with it. It's amazing. It's amazing. So what about the zombie apocalypse when Matt came on? And he was telling us. He said clearly that the upstairs attic would be the best place to go.
He did not say that.
He did. That's what he was talking about.
No, he said that the best case scenario would be to have an access panel between the basement and the attic.
Okay.
Because that would allow you the security of the basement and the freedom of the attic.
Okay.
So, obviously, you weren't listening. And people who don't listen get eaten by zombies.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
Okay, here we go, man. Here we go. Right? Here it is. G&D in the news.
In the news.
In the news. Do you got any news today? Do we got it hot off the presses?
Let's see what we have here.
It's hot. It's going right now for you.
I don't know. I've got some interesting stuff. You know, a lot of people out there are stargazers. I like to go out on a crisp fall evening and stare up at the sky and look for the Big Dipper, don't you?
In the news. I don't even think I could figure out which one was the Big Dipper anymore.
Well, it's the one that is not dipping into the giant keg, Sean.
Which is what I would be in. So
yeah,
I'm not looking
Sean be like, where's the keg, man? Where's the giant keg?
I'm usually on my back. But
you'd be out on your back. You'd be out there with the wrestling coach going, dude.
Dude, what is up? Toke it up, man.
This from Reuters in Johannesburg.
Uh-oh.
Johannesburg.
Reuters? Or Reuters?
I actually said it. You don't have to drink yet, folks.
That's it. Oh, no, we didn't tell them about the drinking game.
Oh, that's right, folks. Don't forget the Ghostman and Demon Hunter drinking game. When Sean and I are reading the paranormal and news of the weird, be sure to have a drink on hand. Because every time we mispronounce a word, you can take a drink. And don't forget, we don't know how to read, so we mispronounce a lot of words. So don't play this game if you're going to be driving,
or driving, we don't make a mistake,
or are planning to be awake for more than 20 minutes. And since we want to listen to the rest of the show, you should probably hold off. But otherwise, join in on the drinking game as I read the news of the week.
Read along!
Woohoo! Johannesburg from Reuters. A species of South African dung beetle has been shown to use the Milky Way to navigate.
Okay.
Making it the only known animal that turns to the galactic spray of the stars across the night sky for direction. Well, not the only animal. There's us too.
Right.
I seem to recall people using sextants to find their way to America, didn't they? Anyway, researchers have known for several years that the inch-long insect has used the sun and the moon to fix points to ensure that they keep rolling their dung balls in a straight line.
Uh-huh.
It's also the quickest way to avoid other beetles in the dung heap.
Okay.
But scientists have puzzled out now how beetles, which perform an orientation dance, right, on the top of their dung balls before setting off. They achieve a straight line on moonless nights.
Okay.
To prove the Milky Way theory, scientists at Johannesburg, it's the Wits University, took beetles into the university planetarium to see how they fared in a normal night sky.
Okay.
And then one drank the Milky Way. The dung beetles don't care which direction they go in.
Dung
beetles. They just need to get away from the bun fight. I'm not mispronouncing that.
Drink.
It's just the way it's written. B-U-N fight. At the poo pile.
Poo.
I think it was supposed to be dung fight.
Yeah.
And it says done fight.
Fight them beans. Yeah.
Wits professors, Marcus Biner, said, but when they turned on the Milky Way, or they turned off the Milky Way, the beetles got lost. And on cloudy nights, without a moon or stars, they probably just stay at home. Well, so do I.
So the dung beetles stay at home. Where do dung beetles live? In dung?
Yes. Well, they roll dung balls, and they eat undigested food from the dung and things like that.
We did a whole new G&D show news intro for that story.
Hey, where's your news?
Oh, I got a good one. You ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready.
Are you ready? Okay, guys, get ready for this. Stoner mice eat marijuana evidence at Kansas police storage facility.
How did I know this would be your story?
I'm ready for it. Here we go. You ready? I'm ready. Get your beer in hand, or what have you. Hey, vermin, don't bogart that evidence. Wichita police in Kansas are hot on the tail of mice that chewed through bags of marijuana kept in police storage facility. KNBC reported the 3 packages were evidence seized during arrest in 2009. The rodents apparently nested in the pot and ate some of it. We've got some mice that are stoners, Police Lieutenant Doug Nolte said on Thursday. The animals were probably attracted to the scent, he added. At first look, authorities, we need a clip for that. At first look, authorities thought that the evidence was tampered with, but some super sleuthing revealed that the culprits were operating on a much smaller scale. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Still officials adhered to protocol, photographing the scene, resealing the stash, and reweighing it. I'm sure after they took what they needed out. The mice remain at large, but a precinct artist did produce a sketch of one of the suspects with big ears, little beady eyes, and a long tail. Huh?
I gotta say, that's right up there, Sean. Now, let me just ask you this.
I told you.
How would you have felt if the mice had stolen your beer?
See, that'd have been a problem. They wouldn't have done that, though. I know. You would think the police precinct would have mice traps. Mouse traps. Mice traps. Mices.
Mouses, mooses.
Who was that? Who was that one that, what was that cartoon back in the old days? Back in the old cartoon days? Mises. Do you remember that cartoon?
I'm like, a cartoon back in the old, what are you talking about? Mickey? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it wasn't Mickey. It was like, Sucker and succotash. Who used to say that?
Sucker and succotash. That was Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck. Well, that wasn't Daffy Duck. I don't know, man. It was the 70s and 80s, man. I forget myself.
Hey, you and I are big fans of fast food.
Yeah, I kind of like fast food.
I can tell. But, I've never considered this as a possible last meal, especially after I'm dead. But apparently mourners at a Pennsylvania funeral of a fast food fan wanted him to have one last trip to the fast food restaurant, says the Associated Press in York. So they arrived in a hearse, and the rest is, you can guess, to make one last drive-through visit before reaching the cemetery.
Wow.
David Kim Jr. lived by his own rules. His daughter, Linda Feel, said he considered lettuce on a burger as his version of healthy eating.
And that's why he was dead.
To give him a Whopper for a send-off on Sunday, the funeral parishioners stopped at a Burger King. And honestly, folks, I've read 3 or 4 versions of the story. Some say it's a Whopper, some say it's a Whopper Jr. There's no photos taken. So
have cheese on it?
But each mourner got a sandwich for the road. You can have a drink back there. It was Kime, K-I-M-E. Got the last burger as well. The New York Daily News reported it was a place atop his flag draped over the coffin at the cemetery.
I wonder if the fries were stiff.
Oh! They'd probably gotten cold by the time they got to the
Cold
cemetery.
And stiff, baby. Cold and stiff.
But his daughter
You can't
said
write that stuff.
It's not a joke. Rather a happy way of honoring her father with the things that brought him joy. He lived a wonderful life and on his own terms, she said. Kime, 88, a World War II veteran, died January 20th. The restaurant manager, Margaret Hess, said she knew his face and his order. So I guess he ordered the same thing every time. And yet no one can tell us if it was a Whopper or Whopper Jr. She and her crew made 40 burgers for the funeral procession. You can tell I'm a ghost hunter.
Drink!
Session. It's nice to know he was a loyal customer until the end.
Why did they make 40 burgers for him? Was that for
for everybody who was in the funeral procession? Every car went through the drive-thru before they went to the cemetery, and everybody got a burger before they went to the cemetery.
Right on. That's the way to go, man.
I have gone to cemeteries with funeral processions where we brought champagne, we've brought wine. For one funeral I went to for a friend of mine who follows the Norse religions, we brought mead. But this is the first burger funeral procession I've ever seen.
Now, what is mead exactly for all the Norse religion?
Mead is wine made of honey.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's not exactly known. A lot of people say mead was one of the first alcoholic beverages after beer. Other people say it was wine. Some people say wine was created because if you ever pick up grapes in the supermarket and they've got that white powder all over them,
don't eat them.
That's yeast that grows on grapes naturally. So if you crush those down and into juice and then leave it to ferment, it'll make wine if you're lucky, and it doesn't make vinegar. But if you take honey and add yeast, boil it up in some water and add yeast, you get mead. And so a lot of people argue which was the first drink. Of course, you and I both know, Sean, it had to be beer.
It had to be ale.
Ale. The Egyptians started us with the beer because they were the barley people. And let's face it, barley is a vegetable. Every 6-pack is a 6-course meal.
Listen, college boy, we don't care where it comes from. We just care that it's here. Nectar of the gods, right?
If you say so. If you say so.
That's it. Hey, we pulled one more, Demon Hunter. At least I pulled one out of the G&D show vaults for the news. Are you ready?
Okay.
Actually, you pulled this one out. I've been reading it. It's a good man driven insane by female ghost. I always thought that would be my headline.
I just would have stopped for you, Sean, at man driven insane by female.
All right. Of course, it was in Thailand. So a security guard in Thailand was caught vandalizing a temple after being driven insane by a ghostly chick. The peculiar drank a series. You notice how I can't hit those silent C's with peculiar.
It's that Midwestern accent of yours there, Sean.
The series of events centered around 45-year-old Fatsire drank Jathmas drink, who claimed that he was continuously followed around by the ghost of a woman in a white dress, to the point where it was driving him insane.
I was continuously followed around by a woman in a white dress once.
Yeah.
Eventually, I had to marry her.
As the ex-wife. What? Oh. I better be quiet. Huh? To help put the rest, his otherworldly stalker, Mr. Jahababas, went to the local Fasafam temple. My God, why do I always get these Thailand stories?
You always pick them, man. You always pick them.
Man. Mr. Jahabahas had been seeing prior to the incident, and the reason he had snapped so suddenly remains, for the moment, unknown. A 45-year-old security guard at the department store claimed he kept seeing a woman ghost in a white dress who followed to haunt him. He requested to see the abbot of Fasfium temple. See, they're going to be drunk by the time.
Okay, folks, let's just do this as the news. Warble, warble, orble bush.
Warble, warble. He requested to see the abbot. The abbot must be like a post. People need to get into Twitter. What's an abbot in Thailand? Abbot. It has to be like a post. Need to Google that. So he wanted to see the abbot at the temple, but he abruptly became insane and shattered the mirrored doors of the temple or whatever. So there you go.
That's the news from G&D. Or whatever. Oh my God. Yeah, they let us have a TV show. And
yeah, we did. We're still coming. Hey, we're still getting it kicking in here. We still got the good story. We got a lot of them backed up. A lot of stories here.
Yeah, it's amazing how much news we can find that we just can't read because
right, and that's
big words.
Special thanks to Huffington Post for letting us read some of those guys, and wherever strange and weird news is produced all over the world, I thank you.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So what else is going on? Any more stories?
I'm smoking my pipe, and it's got tobacco in it. Just don't go thinking that it's anything else there, folks, because despite the way we sound, we never do anything wrong on the radio. Not us.
Never.
It's I'm smoking my pipe with tobacco that I got at Butthead's Tobacco Emporium. And Buttheads. Even though we said we wouldn't do that anymore because they stopped giving me free cigars.
Yeah.
I did get some nice cigars this week, though.
You did?
I just they're really big cigars.
Okay.
My boss for Christmas found out I was a cigar fan. I don't know how she would have ever figured that out. I only say it every week on my radio show. Right. And she bought me 3 Rocky Patel Connecticut 99s, which are my favorite cigar. And they're downstairs, but they're huge. And if I was to light one up before the show, I would have to, smoke half the night to get this thing done.
Yeah.
So I just said, you know what? It's a pipe kind of nice.
Smoke it up. Hey, I was kind of depressed this week, Demon Hunter. Because I put out on our Facebook page and on mine and on yours, I sent out a call to the G&D faithful, the ladies of the G&D Nation, to send side views of their legs, as not my request, but the request of one of tonight's guests. And I put on there, ladies, we need your help. We need a side close-up view of your leg from toes to tush. Nothing dirty, toes to tush. And a front picture of yourself, not naked or anything, but with fully clothed, and your name attached to that. And send it in, and nobody sent it in. It's a good thing that Dave
had to send them the Professor Slim came. We had to send him a picture of Sean's legs.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, what do you guys? Well, I can't believe it. But we're going to send out a call again tonight when the professor comes on for the G&D ladies to get out here and send us those legs, ladies. Send them out because we're going to try tonight. We're going to be dabbling with the ancient art of Berlin leg readings.
Berlin, or
I think it's Berlin.
Are you sure it's not burlesque?
From Mother Russia. No, I think it's Berlin.
Well, Berlin would be Germany.
I told everybody. I wish I thought of this in high school. No, it's scientific.
Yes.
I want to read your legs, ladies. I want to read your legs. I could do that.
I got away with that with breast readings for years.
Did you really?
Yes.
You are truly the man.
I am the master.
You are. Bow to your sensei. I don't have the bumper up. I got too much stuff to play here. I can't get the bumpers up there. Isn't that crazy?
I trust you. Man.
You should trust me. But who's tonight's guest, Demon Hunter? What we got going on?
We will be starting with our good friend Donna Parrish Bischoff.
Okay.
She has a book out.
Yeah?
Do you know the name of that book?
I do actually know the name of the book. I'm going to load it up here for everybody else to know the name of the book. The Lee Avenue Haunting by Donna Parrish Bischoff.
Now, Donna and I have appeared on Paranormal Valley together. And we also worked on a case together that I wound up doing a part for my ghost story for Bio. She did it. We had done a few cases together, and she wound up doing one case for my ghost story, and I wound up doing another one. But she and I have been working together on and off for years, and I'm just glad to have her on tonight.
Yeah, she seems like Donna's a real cool gal. I got to talk to her a little bit earlier. She's a great guy. She's going to tell us about this haunt. I've never heard of it.
Well, I told you, man, there's a lot of great haunts out here.
There is.
It's Connecticut, man. It's New England. We've been around a long time.
Connecticut. And then a little bit later, guys, of course, world-renowned, the Professor Slim King's in the house, everybody, and he's going to be...
World-renowned.
Yeah. Remember last year he came in the house, Demon Hunter, he did the Super Bowl predictions.
Yep.
He's made a lot of first-time predictions on our show.
He has. You remember when the Bigfoot scandal came out?
Yep.
He announced before it came out that there'd be a Bigfoot scandal. He got the location wrong, but he had the name right, but the actual state wrong.
Hey, 2 out of 3.
But hey, I can't see the future at all, so who am I to argue? Right. He did come out with that for us. And when it came out, he even said there would be something iffy about it. So it turned out it was a hoax. So, and that came out a month before it actually happened.
Yeah, if you guys missed that show, you got to check back in our archives. We have Tom Biscardi on, and he was the story of a Bigfoot hoax. He made a movie about it.
Indeed.
What was it? The cats put a Bigfoot costume or a gorilla costume, they packed it full of hog guts and stuff and froze it.
And froze it and sold it to him.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, guys, Demon Hunter, what do you think? We go to break?
Let's go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have our good friend Donna Parrish Bischoff. What music will we be listening to tonight?
We're going to be listening to Tomorrow Never Came by Soul Dog, one of my favorite groups, man. Special thanks out to them.
Aren't you glad I introduced you to them?
I do. I love that band, man. I love that band. And stay tuned, guys, because after Donna, the famous, world-renowned Professor Slim King will be in the house for everybody. Huh? Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a hot show.
our memories and move on. No regrets if you told me we were through. Tomorrow never came, I'd be so satisfied. I would wrap you in my arms and fly away if tomorrow never came. If tomorrow never came. If tomorrow never came. If tomorrow never came. If tomorrow never came.
All that jazz. Yeah, so it's like I'm just, I'm like, all the free samples of Airborne I've been receiving.
Hi, this
like
is Marie
chewing
D.
up
Jones,
like
author of
like a crazy
Science,
person.
P-S-I-E-N-C-E, How New Discoveries in Quantum Physics and New Science May Explain the Existence of Paranormal Phenomena. Sold everywhere, bookstores near you. And I love the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter show. Those guys kick. Oh, I can't say that on the air, can I? Well, they rock, and I'd marry them both if I lived in Utah. Listen to Ghost Man and Demon Hunter.
I asked the gods for inspiration. They showed me the end of time. World collapsing, devastation.
That's right, everybody.
I knew I should have moved to Utah.
I know. That was Marie D. Jones. Remember her? What a hot chick, man. She was on the show. She loved us, man. She was saying how much she wanted to marry us right there. I didn't get to read Demon Hunter real quick from the 1001 Horrible Facts from the Wikipedia. Yeah. Huh?
Okay.
Are you ready? I got to read a couple. Here's what I was reading earlier, guys. Land leeches. I don't think G&D Nation is ready for this, but I'm going to give it to them anyway. Land leeches in Asia can drop from trees onto people and suck out so much blood that a person dies.
Wait.
Huh?
Land leeches?
Land leeches can drop from trees onto
Okay.
people and suck out. Isn't that like a land shark? Remember that with the old Saturday Night Live?
Well,
It's a guy.
I'm not exactly sure what a land leech is. I have actually hiked through the woods and wound up with a leech on me,
Pizza guy.
but I don't know exactly what a land leech is. But you're saying they can suck a person dry of blood?
They can suck it. Hey, yeah, you're not from Asia, so you wouldn't know. But if you ever go, I suggest a umbrella.
That gives that scene from oh God, what was that book written by Stephen King? Wrote a book called The Body.
How to Suck by Leeches.
It was turned into a movie, and now I can't remember the name, but there's a scene where the kid reaches into his pants and he finds a leech stuck to him.
Stand By Me. It's classic.
Stand By Me, there it is. That would give that scene a whole new meaning if it was a land leech that could suck you dry. Yeah. And he pulled it out of... Never mind.
Here's the last one. Here's the last one. A cockroach can withstand more than 120 times the force of the Earth's gravity. An astronaut passes out at 12 times the pressure of gravity. Huh?
Okay, so what you're saying is we could have saved a lot of money in the space program if we sent cockroaches instead of people.
roaches instead of people. Absolutely. And guys, we'd like to send out special thanks to the Wikipedia.
Hey, another special thanks out there, Sean. We got to throw it out there for our buddy Jason Butler, who has been doing our artwork for us.
That's
Jason,
right.
As soon as you get a web page up, Jason, I will post it and pick up your phone. We've been trying to call you.
Right. Get a listed number, buddy. But anyway, Demon Hunter, who do we got in the house? I know we got another lovely lady with us. Yeah.
We have another lovely lady. She and I were just talking about all the wonderful things we've done together and all the things I've missed because I've been working bizarre hours.
Did she want to know how it was like to co-host a show with me for 6 years and a television show?
I told her that if I could have avoided it, I would have. But
well, she's here now. She can ask. Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the G&D studios, ladies and gentlemen. Donna Parrish Bischoff.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Donna.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for coming on with such short notice today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You don't understand, Donna. We were down to the wire going, are we going to have a show? Because we can't get our system working. And Sean and I were spending hours connected on the internet to a direct line, trying to get it working. And finally, I said, how about this and how about that? And he goes, well, what if I turn this button to the left? And then all of a sudden, we had a show.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei!
Huh? I am the sensei of mixing boards. No, we're not kidding, Donna. I had all the wires pulled off. I was blowing them out and everything. And yeah, Nate says, hey, try to turn that knob there. Hey, guess what? Yeah.
Now, here's a question for you, Donna, before we get started. When you were in high school, did anyone ask to read your future by, checking out your breasts?
Yeah.
No, because I never had any. No.
Hey, would have still read them. Come on.
I'm still waiting for them.
Yeah, yo. No, since we're going to open up that discussion, look, you brought Donna on. She's tearing it up. We have to cancel a second-hour ghost or guest second hour, man. She's opened up this whole new avenue of boobage and different classifications. I consider myself sort of an authority on the matter. I'll stop right there.
The crowd goes silent.
I'll stop right there.
Joke it out, man.
So, Donna, what's going on, girlfriend?
Oh, not too much right at the very moment, but I'm getting excited because the second edition of the book is coming out in the spring, and I have Krista Cesare working on it as we speak, feverishly. He's re-editing it for me and reformatting the whole thing for me because I met the current owners. So I added some extra stuff in it. I'm very excited. I'm adding photographs and the whole thing. So I'm very excited to re-release the Lee Avenue Haunting this spring. And I'll be bringing that with me to the National Haunters and Halloween Convention in May. I'll be there all weekend.
Now wait a minute. The National Haunters and Halloween Convention.
See?
In May. You do know that Halloween is in October.
No, it's every day that I live and breathe.
Thank you, Donna.
Now we've known each other several years.
Hey, Donna, were you listening to the show earlier? Just say yeah. So because we all know you're such a faithful listener. Hey, listen, earlier on the show I was talking about The American Scream.
Okay.
Have you seen that? It's about home haunters.
People who turn their homes into haunted houses.
In backyards, whatever. For Halloween.
Well, see, I live in an apartment, so I can't do that.
No, there's people doing that, Donna.
You just have to get everybody in your apartment building to agree to it, and you turn the whole apartment building into a haunted house.
Yeah.
True.
You got to see this, though. You got to see it, Donna, because if you love Halloween, you'll love this show. It's great. It's if you got Netflix, it's all over Netflix, or you can go buy the DVD Blu-ray combo.
Oh no. Sean has a new favorite show. We're going to be hearing about this all the time, like the Red Room Riddle.
Oh boy. Well, I think maybe I'll have to catch this and then I'll be hooked on it like every other show that I get hooked on now. So
see, now these guys make fun of me, Donna. My favorite book since I was a kid got me hooked on Ghost. The Red Room Riddle by Scott Corbett. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not, no.
Oh my goodness.
Boom.
I'm terrible. I know. You know what it is? I don't read a lot of other people's books because I'm afraid when I do my writing, I don't want other people's influences seeping into what I write, because what I write from what I've experienced, but I don't want, like, while I'm dreaming and, like, all of a sudden I wake up, I'm like, I don't want any other influences to go into what I'm writing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I have somebody, hey, you know, that was in that book or that was in that movie. I'm like, no. You know, like,
yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble.
See, Donna, I am just the opposite. I like to get everybody, I read everything I can because I can't write. So if I want to spill something out on the page, I need to be able to steal it from somebody.
Poach everybody's stuff. Hey, Donna.
I always feel so guilty. I feel so horribly guilty.
Well, I don't steal the writing, but I must admit sometimes I do steal the style.
Me too.
It's like, well, I admire so many other, like when I hear people speak, like I admire the way, like Chris DeCesare, when I hear him speak, like, and that's why I chose him to revamp the book. And I was like, when I heard him speak several times, I'm like, you know what? I love the way he speaks, and I can just hear the voice of how the book is going to sound and how, like, my next book is going to sound, and that's how I want my next book.
Now, when you say how the book sounds, you do plan on when it goes to book on tape, you're going to have the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter read it, right? It's
Yes, I'm going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to have like a British man say it.
No, let me do it, Donna. Let me screen read for you right now. You can interview me. Ready?
Yes.
The Lee Avenue Haunting.
Exactly.
Gong.
There you go.
What's the
point like a British butler, you know.
Mm-hmm. Very sexy, like Batman's butler, Alfred.
Yes, like Alfred.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Not the new one, but the Adam West butler.
Yes, exactly. It has to be old school, or it can't be at all.
Hey, Donna, we got a picture up on the screen for all our listeners and viewers around the world right now of you, beautiful
kissing
self.
The horse.
Yeah, kissing the horse with the Headless Horseman on it.
Yes.
And we got a picture of your book, The Lee Avenue Haunting, sitting up there right now, so you know what everybody's looking at.
Very exciting.
Yeah. You're excited. And then I got another picture here. Look, guys. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one,
I
too.
didn't send you that one now.
Oh, my God.
We found that one on the internet, Donna.
Oh, boy.
Here's one right here. Look, it's got a picture.
Deep for that one.
It's got a picture of the real Lee Avenue haunt right there on the left side. The building.
Oh, you found the one on my page then?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that I was able to when I went. I got permission when I met the current owners. I knocked on their door and I scared the pajamas off of them, and I got permission to take photographs. You know, they were like, "Oh my God," you know, and they and they're like, "You really did live here. Oh my God, you really did write the book," you know. They almost like really crapped all over their front porch because they didn't realize that it was the real deal and everything. And I gave them a book, and they probably threw the book away thinking, "Oh my God." And hopefully when they woke up the next morning, the book was out of the garbage and on the dining room table, like the entity probably said, "No, you really need to read this."
Right.
Hopefully.
So tell us a little bit about that story. I mean, what happened?
Well, we moved in. It was a two-family apartment building, and not a building, but a house. And it was built on farmland. And the whole street was originally farmland. And what I'm coming to find now, I kind of knew this like years after, but more and more people are actually reaching out to me on Facebook saying, "Oh my God, I lived on Lee Avenue, and you know, my house was, you know, 2 houses down or a house across, and, you know, I had situations going on at the same time. I had similar situations going on. Things were on top of me. I saw black masses, you know, and I realized I come to find that the entire grounds were on the same farm, thinking that they all shared, you know, the same type of hauntings that I had. So everything was connected.
So basically, Lee Avenue was the party block for ghosts.
Yeah, you know, and we didn't know because when I was growing up on that block, everybody kind of like shunned my family because it wasn't like back then. It wasn't in fashion. It wasn't in style to, be that lucky family to have a haunting. And everyone kind of thought we were crazy and nuts. And my mother actually went to the local parish down the block and begged the priest to do a house blessing. And the priest kind of told her that she needed psychiatric supervision. And so my mother decided to take it into her own hands and go through the house and bless it and do prayers and holy water. And everything kind of got worse with every prayer and everything. And
right.
So,
well, it's funny. So many people go into these places wanting to do exactly what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I even got an email just today, somebody saying, we went into a house and we think it might have been a demon, but we couldn't get its name. I'm like, why do people want to know a demon's name?
Fred.
Do you know the trouble you get into once you know its name?
I like to call him Johnny Bravo.
It doesn't want to go to Starbucks with you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Johnny Bravo? How come people don't want to laugh at my joke?
It really doesn't, it just causes more and more issues and more problems. And at that point, it was just, and we were kind of like shunned by the neighbors. And then like later to come find out, it's like now all these people are going, oh my God, oh, you were that kid? You grew up? Like, no, I mean, I stayed that age. I always stayed 6 years old. Of course I grew up. Right. Yeah, that's me. I wrote about it. This is what I went through. This is what we try to talk about. This is what we went, of course. And they're like, oh my God, yes, I remember that house now.
So you were like the Amityville people, but without the movie.
Right, exactly. Oh. And just so much went on in that time period. We were there from 1974 to 1979, and the interesting thing was it was the number 3. It was like, we had there was me, my sister, brother that moved into that house, and the family before was 3 kids, and the landlord was and his 2 sisters. There were 3 kids, and before them it was 3 kids. When I met the current owners, they live in that same exact apartment. It was the mother, father, and their 3 kids. Now you could say, well, big deal, but the exact numbers, I mean, they have 3 exact kids. I mean, it's pretty bizarre.
Now, do people living next door have 2 kids? Because then you would have made the national average of 2.5.
Well, next door it was. Let me see if I can.
I'm just making sure so there wasn't half a kid walking around.
How do you get 0.5?
It was just the legs, but like next door it was. Actually, I'm not going to say their name because I don't know who's alive or who's dead. But it was, say, the Smith family. They had 2 kids, and on the other side it was 2 kids. So, and then before
so
that,
it was. Look at that! I was right, Sean.
So Donna, it was a double.
Right. So it was 2 kids on each side, and then in the center it was, me, my brother, and my sister.
So the house was a double?
I'm sorry?
The house was like a double, Donna? It was split?
Right. It was like, it was a 2-family house. At one point it was like 1-family house, but I guess like as years went on, they wanted to make a little money. They split it in 2 to make,
Now there's no chance the people next door in the house next to you were just banging all night.
No. If you saw what they look like now.
Sorry,
God forgive me, and I'm sorry for listening.
All of a sudden, it's not a haunting, but she has whole new scars to deal with.
Yeah. Coming on our show.
Yeah, I mean, there was like far distances between our house that you couldn't hear. It's not like it was like an inch away, or, it was pretty far distance where you wouldn't be able to hear like a wall next to you. So it wasn't like a possibility of that. But it was just so strange of all these things happening. And one of the things that happened was because it was old farmland, and this is the most bizarre, one of the most bizarre things, that it was like a late summer night. My mother and I were in the kitchen. My father was sleeping. My brother and sister had been out. It was around 1 o'clock in the morning because they were, my sister's 9 years older than me. My brother was 8 years older than me, rest his soul. And so we're sitting in the kitchen, and it was around 1 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden we hear, get ready for this, a goat. Almost like, if you will, like if you remember SNL, Goat Boy, like,
Yeah.
And we look at each other, and all of a sudden we hear the hooves going down the foyer. We jump, we gasp, we're like, what the hell? As soon as we get up to, like, run out of the kitchen to look, it stops dead in its tracks. We don't see anything. We don't hear anything. Nothing. It's dead silent.
Now, Donna, I grew up on a farm, and if an animal got sick, we brought it into the house because that was how you cared for it, to make sure that it got well, so hopefully you could take it back out and eat it 6 months later. But,
Hillbillies.
But I have several memories of little goats that would get sick, and we bring them into the house, and sometimes they get well, sometimes they wouldn't. Any chance it was a residual goat haunting?
You know something? I would not doubt that in a second, not in a heartbeat. And another interesting thing, because my dad was recouping from heart surgery, so he took over my original bedroom, and we didn't, we could not afford an air conditioner, and it was hot. It was a really, really hot, summers are always very hot, as you know, and the house was always so pent up, and his room, which used to be my bedroom, we left his bedroom door open just slightly in case he needed help or emergency or an ambulance or whatever during the middle of the night. And my mother and I, we opened up the door ever so slightly just to kind of check on him, and the icy air that was inside, and it kind of smelled almost as though like we were inside of like a stable, almost as though like that kind of like a barn. Again, it was like that smell, and my mother was like, "Why does your father smell like an animal?" I don't think it's Dad that smells like an animal.
Dad, you're an animal.
It was just like that icy, cold air, and it's like here we are, like in the middle of July, and it's like that icy, cold air, and it's like that that odor, like the middle of a stable. After animals are urinating and the feces, and it was just awful. It was just a very unexplainable things and of events and odors and temperature changes.
Donna, you're talking about all this stuff that kind of took you off guard when you were a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But, I grew up in a house where that would have been a normal kind of thing to deal with.
Right.
But do you ever think that maybe we took for granted at one point what now people sense and say, that must be a haunting, where it was just everyday living up until 30, 40 years ago? People just don't even realize that that's how people lived.
Right.
And it just has gotten lost. And now people get these smells and they immediately jump to ghost. Where back then, you guys said, oh, we've got these weird smells, we've got these weird sounds, we're seeing things, we're hearing things, it's cold, and people went, these folks are crazy. But now, if that happened, nobody would say that.
Exactly. Well, this is what we were dealing with. And, my brother, when we were documenting all of this stuff, and he got sick, unfortunately, and had passed away, but we had been documenting all of this stuff, and unfortunately, in the process of him getting ill and getting treatments and everything, he was, he and I were supposed to, write this whole thing together, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to pick up, and I'm going to just follow this whole thing myself.
Right.
And my sister ended up, I asked her to please, draw the picture of, so the cover work that you see of the house, because originally I didn't have permission to take any photographs of the house, so I asked her to please draw the house. So that's, her work there that you see, that she did by hand. And
amazing.
So I was like, let's just do this. Let's just do this before we lose any more family members at this point. And, I'm, to make that a joke, but...
believe me, I come from an older family. I understand.
And I was like, let's just do this already, because going through this whole thing, we'd ask my father, I'm like, do you hear anything? Do you see anything? And he'd completely be in denial. But my mother saw these things, heard these things. My brother went, and my brother was like a very scientific type of person. He brought L. Ron Hubbard books. At first he was a large...
No, wait. Brother was a very scientific person who bought L. Ron Hubbard books.
Right, he was a very scientific person until we moved into this house.
Okay.
Well,
then everything changed.
Donna, I wanted to tell you real quick, sis. We didn't have time. I didn't want you to tell the whole story tonight because we want to have you back on when we can do the full hour. But I wanted to get you on. I wanted to get this book out there and tell people where they could get it and everything.
Absolutely. So you want me to
Yeah.
Rattle. Oh,
Pimp away, sis.
Okay, it's on Amazon.com. They can buy it paperback or they can get it on Kindle, whatever rocks their boat. And if you want to see me on Facebook, they can go to the Lee Avenue Haunting on Facebook, or they can look up Donna Parrish Bischoff on Facebook.
Now, is this done in like a diary fashion of like your childhood, or?
It's done like it's a very slender book. The first edition's out there, so it's only about maybe 70 pages. So I don't want people thinking it's like a 300-page book. It's a quick read. So if you go to the doctor's office or you got a little time to kill, you can get it done in an evening.
Now people who are dealing with maybe an issue they're wondering about themselves, can they find like solace in this book? Can they?
They can definitely. There's a lot of things that people do write to me because I have my email address in there, and I do get a lot of emails saying, they reach out to me saying, thank you, I've had a lot of the same things that you've gone through. Thank you for sharing these things. Or they reach out to me saying, if I need your help, because I also co-founded Para Investigators, so they reach out to me asking me for help as well or advice. So there is valuable information that if I'm not in their area, I have people that I know that are in their areas as well. So either way, I can help them or I can lead them to help.
All right, that's it, man. Demon Hunter, do you want to... Donna, I got to thank you, girl, for coming on with such short notice. I can't wait to see the book. The name of the book, guys, The Lee Avenue Haunting. You can get it at Amazon, or you can get Donna on Facebook, and she'll tell you how to get there if you weren't just listening a second ago on how to get there. And Donna, thanks for coming on. Any last words before you go?
I just want to say thank you so much, guys. It's been wonderful, and you have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
I can't wait to do more work with you in the future.
I'm going to snatch you up.
That's it. Get me too, Donna.
I will.
I'm cheap.
Have a good night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night, Donna.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's true, folks. Sean is cheap. I got him once for a picture of Yingling. So.
I don't remember just a picture. We were in Gettysburg knocking those out left and right. But hey, man, what do you say we take a break? And from the haunted back road, stopping by the G&D Show Studios, a good friend and world-renowned Professor Slim King up next. What do you think, Demon Hunter?
I think that sounds wonderful.
You think that sounds wonderful? Okay, well, 1, 2, 3, and here we go.
Full moon is rising. I'm jumping that train. Baby, don't get too close. I ain't coming back again. Can see that train coming. Feeling full steam ahead. Ambitions tied to the tracks. I've left them for dead. Can hear that train coming. It's coming after me. Can you hear that lonely whistle? Let its soul and cry to be free. Full moon is rising. I'm jumping that train. Don't get too close, I ain't coming back again. Oh, can smell that train coming. Around the air, hot steel and cold, arouse my soul, so I follow him there. Can feel that train coming, it's rattling my bones. That chuggity chug, way deep down in my soul. The full moon is rising. I'm jumping that train. Baby, don't get too close. I ain't coming back again. I said the full moon is rising. I'm jumping that train.
This is Mark and Mark from Weird US on the History Channel. And you're listening to the Ghost Man and... Okay, shut up. So we'll do it. Hi, this is Mark Moran and Mark Skirman from Weird US on the History Channel. And you're listening to the Ghost Man and... Hi, this is Mark and Mark from Weird US on the History Channel. And you're listening to the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter Show. That's outstanding.
I asked the gods for inspiration. They showed me the end of time. World collapsing devastation.
See now, the official guardian of the Devil's Chair, the Professor Slim King.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is your Ghostman and Demon Hunter radio show. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. What a night we've been having, man. We had Donna. I wish we had time to go with that. We're going to have her back, dude.
You were enjoying that, Sean, were you? I think it was the talk of boobs at the beginning that got you.
Oh, man, it got me fired up. That in the case of Tecate. Special thanks to my imported, I can't read, Indición Retros 50s Cerveza. Riba! Yeah, I even play. Hey, did you hear Professor Slim King's intro?
I did. I heard that. And the professor and I were just talking a moment ago.
I bet you
Why don't we bring him on? Because he has something he wants to predict for us tonight.
Well, hold on. I wanted to say one thing before. Ladies, we asked you to send in your leg pictures, and you wouldn't do it this time. But I predict that by the next time the professor comes on, there will be plenty of lotioned, beautiful legs, hairless, beautiful legs, in my email account, ready for predicting. Ladies and gentlemen, world-renowned, our friend, your friend, Professor Slim King. Professor, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Sounds like you're having a great time.
We are having an awesome time, and I'm predicting, Professor, that by the next time you come on, since Sean will be getting an email full of ladies' legs, he's going to be doing a lot of explaining to his girlfriend. So,
oh, wow. Well, that's a good deal. That's always fun, explaining why you get things in the email that
it's
have
science.
A lady's legs are attached.
I blame the professor. I blame him.
Hey, I have a great idea. I got a great idea for you guys tonight.
Yes.
Since it's so pertinent that the Super Bowl is coming up, why don't we try to predict supernaturally the winner of the next Super Bowl? Let's do that together.
Okay.
You guys want to try that? And the listeners and everybody in the chat room can do it too. And we had a great success at this 2 years ago. I did this, and at odds of over 2,000 to 1, 7 people all chose a 3-to-1 underdog to win the Super Bowl. 7 out of 7. It was an amazing event, and so maybe we could do something like that tonight.
Well, listen, Professor, I got to tell you, I will remind you, I want to do this. I'm stoked. But I have to remind you, you're a good friend of ours. I'm already a 6-pack in. So if there's not much instruction, so if you will, and I know you got a bottle of
drink at the Ghostman and Demon Hunter show, because we would never do that.
I predict Professor is looking at the bottom of a rum bottle right now.
I just finished the flip-flop Machado that I got the other day. So, nothing like a big $4 bottle of wine to really get you going.
Oh, right? Alcoholism. Beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm doing that, a cup of coffee, and my legal, pain pills the doctor gives me. I'm in good shape tonight.
I can predict the future. That's right, baby. Let's get it going. I got your pictures up there, Professor. I got you holding the magic wand. And I got you holding the crystal ball.
Now, Sean, you have children. Surely you know why he's holding that magic wand there.
To make children disappear? I don't know.
No, he is...
It's Harry.
He is the leader of, and I'm going to mess this word up now, but what do they call the dark witch hunters?
The
Harry Potter. I lost it right there.
It starts with an O, right? Harry Potter wanted to become one, didn't he?
Nope, I lost it. And on radio, I can't take the time long enough to stop and think about it.
Take the time.
Somebody will come up. Somebody in the will ticket in the.
He's on the chat room. They're looking for.
I think it has an OC in it. OC something.
Yeah,
I see an OC.
now you're just teasing me because that's what I see. I'm gonna yell out in the middle of the show. You know that it's.
Okay, whoever gets it first wins $1. I'll give somebody $1 because I've got it on the tip of my mind too. It's right there.
No time for
You
love.
want it to be and work for the ministry, right?
Yeah, it's jeez. Now I'm not.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna be lost tonight with that.
Yeah. Moving along.
Okay. Anyway, I think I've got it boiled down to where. So who's playing in the Super Bowl? Are you sports fans at all?
Well, yeah, it's the Ravens, and that's really all I cared about because the Ravens beat the New England Patriots. Ravens and the 49ers.
The Ravens and the 49ers, correct?
Ravens and the 49ers.
Right. I don't know anything about football, and I didn't last time we did this. But here's what I want you and everyone to do. I want everyone to think of 3 single digits. I want you two to think of 3 single digits. Clear your mind, and you're at like a betting window, and someone's handing you money. They're giving you a lot of money. Someone's paying off the debt. That you have won. You, in your mind, have made a bet, and you won, and your team has won. Can you see that in your mind?
I feel a big squishy, feels kind of like a bag of sand in my hand right
I'm
now.
just going to say right off the bat, 3, 9, and 7. Those are the numbers that jumped in my head.
Okay, 3, 9, and 7. So add the 3, the 9, and the 7, that's 19, correct?
Yeah.
19, and then add the 1 and the 9, and that's 10. So that add the 1 and the 0, and that numerologically boils down to the number 1, correct?
Yes!
Is that right?
That is correct.
So it's a number 1. Now, according to this book, I'm going to give you some hints on who's going to win the game.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to read those hints to you right now.
What about my numbers?
Okay, you think of your numbers while I'm doing this for him, okay? Okay. The total number is 1. 1 is associated with the sun and the zodiac sign of Leo, the lion. So here are your words. They're like clues that who's going to win the game, okay?
Okay.
You can write them down or just listen to them. We can go over this later if it doesn't pop right into your head. But the key words are sun, independence, leader, originality, speculation, love, theater, belle of the ball, ego, children, and anything new.
Okay.
Startling, anything new, startling, or sexy. This number is, picking winners, is considered fortunate. So with those key words, does that have you lean towards the Ravens or the 49ers?
So did you say something sexy? Because I didn't know I'd ever win the Super Bowl, but I'd like to thank my parents, God.
Startling or sexy?
Oddly enough, when you first started, I was like thinking 49ers, but as you went on, I was thinking of like a Raven, pendant, that kind of stuff.
I was thinking Ray Lewis with the theatrics and all that.
Right. This has nothing to do with what you think. It has what has to do with these words in association to those two teams. I'll go over them one more time, and then you think if you could come up with something. Sun, independence, leader, originality, speculation, love, theater, belle of the ball, ego, children, and anything new, startling or sexy.
I'm thinking, again, I'm going to lean this way, and I'm thinking with the things you're saying, that it's exact opposite of what I think of a 49er, because I know what a 49er was.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think Raven, I think Edgar Allan Poe. I think that time.
Right, like drunk in the street.
And
right.
So I'm thinking Raven.
So you're thinking Ravens, okay? No. Okay, Sean, what numbers do you have?
I had, Professor, 2, 5, and 8, sir.
2, 5, and 8. That adds up to 15, correct?
Uh-huh.
And then the 1 and the 5 is 6. So your number would be 6. So I've got the thought dial here.
Rhymes
I'm
with 6.
spinning it over to 6.
Yes.
The number 6 is associated with the planet Venus.
Venus.
And the zodiac signs of Taurus, the bull, and Libra, the scales. Okay. This number, in picking numbers, is not as fortunate as some. So you may not be as accurate as Nathan. But here we go. Here's the word. Oh, are you ready?
Zombie attack, Sean.
I'm ready.
I'm in the lead again.
I know.
Here we go. Home, loved ones, family, change of residence, domesticity, voice, luxury, laziness, collecting, money, justice, legal, contracts, hobbies associated with the accumulation of objects such as coins, stamps, paintings, etc., tranquility, peace, and anything associated with home and family, or with the voice and security.
Well, the legal system and laziness had me to a T. But we're talking about T.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
How would that affect the way you think of the Ravens or the 49ers?
I would say Ravens on that because Ray Lewis always jail problems and courts and all that. And
he had a lot of problems. I don't know anything about either one of the teams.
Right.
So both of you. So you're thinking that those words are like tips or hints would point you towards the Ravens?
I think so. Demon Hunter, what are they saying in the chat room? The listeners around the world.
So, honestly, I told them the professor was gonna predict the Super Bowl. Nobody said anything. They're all listening. They're not typing.
Everybody's calling their bookie.
So
wait. Mad Eye Moody was an Auror.
yes, an Auror hunter. There you go.
There you
It had an. Was that an O or an A? Auror.
A,
I'm not sure.
What the hell's an Oreo? An Oreo?
It sounds like an Auror.
Mad Eye Moody. I love Mad Eye Moody. He was one of the
I triple dog dare ya!
So, hey, I've got, from the Tower of Terror. Here we go. Can you hear that? It's a little bell, the desk bell from the Tower of Terror. I stole it.
Oh, did ya?
Yes. How'd that sound? Pretty good?
Yeah.
That's good.
Now, that's supposed to scare away the demon, the evil spirits. The bells are supposed to... And so, hopefully...
Every time an angel gets its wings.
Is that what happens?
Yes.
Every time I get a new Foster's. Every time I hear the bell, I go for... I've got one cooling in the fridge right now.
Australian
we don't let
beer.
Sean do that because then we just have bells ringing all the time.
Yeah.
See now, the official god.
I keep hitting your intro.
Anyway, so I think if, I think between the two of you, you may change your mind if you think about that a little more. But the guys from the that are in the chat room and listening in can email me your numbers, and we'll figure it out, and I'll send you your keywords, and you can try to figure it out for yourself, those that are listening in.
And where can I email you, Professor?
Just email, I'll give you my personal email, is Florida Jake Blues. That's the character I played all day long today. Man, I have sang Soul Man 10,000 times.
She got the caddy and left me a mule to ride. Huh?
She got the Katie. I love that one too.
That's it.
But Florida, just like you spell Florida, Florida Jake Blues at Gmail. So if they just send me their 3 numbers, I'll actually send them a PDF of the experiment that we did last time that was such a huge success. And that's why the James Randi Foundation won't test me. That's why I'm the man they refused to test for $1 million. Because we've hit some of these things straight on. And I'll send you the PDF that's called Supernatural Picks for a Super Bowl that was written about what happened 2 years ago. So it was amazing, and we would have won the JREF $1 million challenge had they allowed us to take it. but they didn't.
See?
But anyway, this thought that was a lot of fun, and so it sounds like you guys are leaning towards the Ravens.
You know, I wanted the 49ers to win, but I think now that, because honestly, I don't know a lot about either team. I've always been a Jets, a Giants, a Cowboys, a
Don't say it.
Redskins fan, and of course, there's the ever powerful.
Don't say it.
The Patriots, who you would think would win everything.
You are ugly when you're angry.
And I don't know much about football myself, and this worked so well last time, and I didn't know anything about either team. So it doesn't matter which, if you do or not. And matter of fact, Eric, one of the guys who did it in 2010, is a sports writer. And he wanted the Colts. He thought the Colts were going to win. And after we did this thing, I think he retracted some of his bets, and it saved him a lot of money. Because after he did this, he wasn't sure that the Colts were going to win anymore. And that was a record-breaking game. I mean, record-setting. No team had ever been 10 points behind that wasn't the favorite team and come back and won. Never happened before.
See?
And and I think no team had ever kicked an onside kick at halftime, right off the second half. Never happened.
I remember watching that, just thinking, right here, this is paranormal. So it's
it was pretty crazy. And Jim Callahan had a radio show, and he interviewed a lady, and she was one of the 7, and she said that it had something to do with the kickers. This huge upset would have something to do with the kickers, and of course it did.
Yeah, it's funny though that it's when Sean and I have such the different images in our mind. But when you were reading my words to me, what I was thinking, like Poe poems started flowing through my head. And what can you think of with Poe but the Raven? And so that's why that went with me.
And didn't they say something about postage or something? Or something, I'm not sure what it said, but didn't they just a couple of years ago release a Raven stamp?
I think so.
I think they have an Edgar Allan Poe stamp that recently was released.
You know, I'm thinking of that now, and now that you say it, it's in my head. So I want to know if that's what's making me think of it, or if it actually happened.
Right. Well, that could be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing. Like this is Jungian philosophy. They called him like a Christian mystic, Carl Jung, and a lot of this stuff is based on that.
Hey, did you guys see that movie about Poe? What was it, The Raven? With
The Raven? Oh yeah, I was a huge fan of The Raven.
Wasn't that good?
People said they didn't like it, but you know what? You know what their biggest complaint was? That what's his name? The guy playing the role had a goatee, and I was sitting there thinking, you know what? Poe was such a guy about making money that if he had been alive today, and this movie had come out, he would have been like, hey, as long as I get my cut, man.
Really?
I don't care. Oh, he, in his entire life, you're right, there was a Edgar Allan Poe stamp that came out. It was a 42-cent stamp before they made the forever stamps. But I think it came out for his 50th or his 200th birthday. But he was such a big guy about trying to make money, but his entire life, everything that he wrote earned him about, in today's money, would be about $12,500.
No way.
Yep. So, I mean, it was the equivalent of making about half of the average poverty level salary today for all his work that he'd ever written. And you have to remember, he resold his work. So if he sold it to one paper, then he'd turn around and sell it to another as soon as he got the rights back. So he did not make a lot of money doing his work, but he was America's first full-time writer. Because up until then, writers always had another job. They were a blacksmith or a farmer or a shopkeeper. But he was the first one that said, I'm just going to write.
Nathan, how do you keep all this information in your mind? You're ready to explode.
I have the trivia mind that we call useless information that only Nathan knows. So,
man, I'm calling you.
Yeah.
In case I want to chase down the demon hunters. Errors, what are they called?
Aurors. Yes, it's that...
the anus.
But next time you're on Cash Cab, just remember to give me a call. But
you'll be my lifeline.
Yeah, he'll want a contract signed before he gives you the answers.
Hey, I don't know what your demographic is for the listeners, but some of the guys out there could take pictures of their girlfriend's legs and send them in.
Yeah,
how's that?
And then they can have their girlfriend's legs read and know whether or not they should run now.
Well, right. I'll say, hey, she's cheating on you, buddy.
See? How do I know that, Professor? Well, she's got that other man's handprint right there on her side. She's been spanked real good. You can always tell when a lady's been spanked. Just that.
Really?
That red.
How do you do that?
You can always see that red. You know that. Yay! You're the man. You're the man with the answers. I can't tell you my secrets. You have to buy the book, Professor.
To have the stripper leg.
I just heard.
It's
smack and rub. That's what I heard. Smack and rub. That's all I know.
Smack and jiggle, baby. Smack and jiggle. I got a picture up right now. I got some hot chick sitting on a pool table showing her legs, and then I got a fat boy wearing a thong with showing some of his legs. That's what I'm showing everybody right now. I was going to have you read them, but you don't know these kids.
Yeah. Do you have the picture of me when I was a little kid, where I was at the dance school?
I do. It's right there. I'm showing it right now. That's how you study.
I got in a lot of trouble over that, but at least I was heading in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Now, I want to know is...
Look like me at church.
How did you get into the Rockette dance school to begin with?
Say?
It took a lot of work, man, but I was clever.
Nice Oshkosh bagosh there, Professor. I like that. That's how you study. Hey, that's one thing we haven't talked about yet. I was trying to get the girls. Everybody thought I was full of crap. But we're talking about the ancient art of Berlin leg reading.
It is Berlin. Is that correct, Professor?
It's the Berlin Beinlesen. Berlin leg reading is going on in the 30s. And actually, the guy who did it was doing it under an assumed name. But it was actually Hitler's Jewish clairvoyant, Erich Jan Hansen. And that's who did it. And it was huge. And Berlin had like 4 million people. Berlin was the happening place in Europe.
Show me your dams. Yeah.
Now here's the question: If Hitler had a clairvoyant, did he just stop listening to him because he was Jewish and that's why he lost the war?
He had him killed because he was Jewish. So they killed him right away. They were going to set up. You know how you have the different departments, the magistrate, the finance, and stuff. They were working on having the area of occult. He was going to be the occult, head of the occult, and you had it all going on. And you notice how Hitler was running all the Nazis were chasing down all those different things. They're trying to find
doors and yeah.
Right. Well, you got all the movies, that they did about that. And the guy who really got him into that was Hansen. And they're chasing down these haunted antiques.
Now here's the thing.
No. I've seen Hellboy. We all know that Hitler was trying to get to the supernatural part of the world, and he got the crazy monk. Who was the mad monk?
Rasputin?
Rasputin. He was trying to have Rasputin, and Hellboy came through. I've seen this, guys.
Okay, you guys have to stop, because I'm a vault of useless knowledge, but at this point you've plugged so much into my brain I've forgotten my name.
Rasputin! Yeah.
I have to give up a piece of knowledge for every one I take.
You gave up knowledge when you partnered
a little in.
Point.
Yes.
You could forget about the girls in kindergarten. Start eliminating them. And
I don't know.
Adding a little more.
Our teacher was pretty cute. It's
See? Got caught kissing under the picnic table, huh?
So, yeah, at what point did you guys ever consider a woman hot? When did that come into your mind? How old were you?
When I seen Elvira for the first time on Friday Night Fright Flicks or whatever she hosted, I thought, my God, I don't know what's happening down below, but it feels shameful and good at the same time.
And how old were you then? How old do you think?
12? 11?
And so that has to be legs, though. Elvira's got the legs, and, you know.
Well, it was that, and then it was something about the middle of her chest area. I just...
Yeah.
And then there was this Princess Leia doll that I had, and we won't go into that. That's another show.
Right. And I don't think women quite understand what men have to go through.
I don't think so.
You know, when we, getting our sexual identity, there's a lot to it.
There is.
It's not as easy. It's not as easy as they think.
Nathan struggled with it.
Nathan struggled.
I wrestle against Sean every Sunday.
I choked on my Takati.
No, I'd say I was about 11 as well, Sean. I seem to remember it was about the 5th grade.
Sucks to peak young, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Me and you both.
And then you wear out so fast.
I know. I had a hot teacher, too. I think it was in 5th grade, maybe. She was amazing.
What was his name?
I don't... Henry. No, she was an exchange... No. She was a teacher that was getting her... She was taking classes. So she would show up with my, in social studies or whatever, which was a whole lot of nothing. That's where they sent the football players to make sure we passed, and...
Yeah, and we keep going. You're playing football. You get an A.
That's it. But yeah, that's the first moving live lady that I seen in real life, I think, that I was attracted to.
I didn't have a hot teacher till I was in high school, and there was a goth. I had a goth teacher.
Oh, no way.
I thought she was spooky hot. When you talk about the Ravens, man, this lady, I was like, wow.
Her name was Morticia. Miss Morticia. You had to stay after class so you could do it over and over again if you got it wrong.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, and then that happened.
It happened. That's what. So tell us about the legs. How do you read the legs? I want to learn this.
Well, it's a great thing, and it's pretty easy in that everyone can do it. Like palm reading, you have all these different lines and these different mountains, and this just kind of works on the silhouette of the legs from the front and the back and sides, and then like the muscularity of the legs, and that kind of thing. And it's I just in preparation for the show, I got a picture of Marilyn Monroe's legs.
Oh, here we go.
I did a reading on them. Just in accordance with what was written. This is an old manuscript written in German in the 30s, about 1930. So, and explains how. And most of these people that did it were the gypsies and stuff, and they were all pretty much eliminated, before the 50s. So in the next 20 years, all the people that practiced this, were in the gas chamber or something.
Right.
They were gone. So it's a lost art, and the guy who did it himself, like I said, Hannesen was killed by Hitler himself, even though he was the guy who got the whole ball rolling. Told Hitler he was going to win this and that and everything else, but then Hitler didn't keep him around, and so Hitler got what he got after that.
That's right. That's right.
So it was really an amazing history when you check back in it. It all centers around Berlin. And there are so many things that were happening in Berlin that are happening in America today. It's just really, it's scary or enlightening or shocking or something. But they're going through a lot of things back then that we are going through now.
Yeah.
So we're looking a lot like Berlin.
That's not good, Professor.
Well, I don't know. I just studied that.
That's it.
It was pretty exciting. They were going so crazy in Berlin. They had 200 specialty over 200 specialty sexual nightclubs.
Okay.
Whatever you wanted. They had a specialty nightclub just for you. They had over 200 of them in Berlin alone. So they were kicking it up, man. It was right after the Roaring '20s, and they just kept it roaring over there. And
I know where we'd all meet after work every night, huh? I'd be a broke man.
So it's really amazing, and so we'll get some boys, some of you guys to send in your girlfriends' legs, and some of the gals will send them in. And then there's this one special lady from Universal Studios who had a leg reading, and man, she just, it was right on. And so I'll try to get a recording of her reaction to it, because it was amazing. And then, but it's something that the listeners can learn to do themselves. It's not that difficult.
Now, I was trying to tell everybody before the show, Professor, or a couple of weeks ago, actually, before the show, you are part of the G&D show now, yes? Huh?
Pardon me?
You are our Professor Slim King on the G&D show.
Well, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes, whenever you need me, I am here for you.
Yes, that's what you had told me. You would come on the show and you'll do whatever we need you to do, and all that.
That's right.
And you have so far, and I really appreciate it. Don't you, Nathan?
Oh, I do, and I'm putting all my money on the Ravens right now.
See, that's what
I don't know. I don't know if you can bet on it. I don't know if that works, because they say the gypsies say you can't.
That's true. You can't make money off of what you do. It's
right.
Otherwise, it's supposed to be run by gypsies.
That's it.
Right. Yeah. If you could make money off it, the gypsies would have just took over by now.
That's it.
So, but a little silver crossing the palm. There's nothing wrong with that. They were right. You need to get silver or gold, because the paper money is worth less and less every minute.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
So we're looking at the picture of Marilyn Monroe now. What kind of characteristics am I looking for that you would say?
Well, you look at the thickness of the ankle.
Okay.
I'm looking at the same picture that you have. You look at the thickness of the ankle and the thickness of the leg. Now, this is taken a while back in Marilyn, and this was when Marilyn was a little thinner. But she has, you see, her ankles aren't quite as thick as you would think when you look at the top of her leg.
Okay.
She almost looks like she's an ice skater. Have you seen ice skater legs?
Yeah, kind of.
Very muscular up on top and dancing. Dancers have some muscular legs up on top sometimes. But the calf, the actual muscle in her calf is slender. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do see that.
Yeah, it's not bulging or anything like she does. It's not like she works out. This is a natural leg.
Uh-huh.
So this leg that you're looking at is more natural than it's way more average than you would think. She's got high heels on, which extends that. So this is almost a natural leg. There's a lot of women that have this leg style.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool. I'll give you the reading for this type of leg.
Yeah.
It's called an ideal leg. Now, this is
I just have to say before this starts, when Sean was falling in love with Elvira, I was looking at old pictures of Marilyn Monroe and new pictures of Heather Locklear. So that's...
Wow. I was going with women that were still alive, see. That I might have had a chance with.
Hey, Heather Locklear was still alive when I was a kid.
That's true.
Wait, she's still alive now. Never mind.
She's still alive.
I think there was a picture in Newsweek magazine that had an exotic dancer that had a snake wrapped around her body. I'm going to probably have to go back and find out, what issue that was, but I guess the word issue might make sense. But anyway, I'll have to find out, what that was.
You sure we're talking about Newsweek
I think that was when I first was like, man, women are hot.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is the reading that I had for her that's out of this, and it's translated. Now, you must realize that this comes, I translated this out of this, semi-Nazi, regime kind of thinking. Ideal eggs belong to slender and pleasant personalities.
Okay.
And she is a personality.
Yeah.
They are also very attractive and are probably the most common standard of beauty. Despite their beautiful formation, the thighs are imperfectly thin. They characterize motherliness, but without the power to conceive easily. And remember, she had no children, right?
Right.
One of the sexiest women on the planet never did have a baby.
Yeah.
Well, that's debated.
Vitality? Oh, really? They think she may have had children?
Well, it's if it did, it didn't survive.
Oh.
Oh. The vitality of the female is strong.
I don't know, but I'm looking at her
Let's-
thigh muscles
let's
right now.
try.
Strong like bull. That's all I'm thinking.
A lot of charm, tenderness, preference for luxury. She certainly was luxurious, and beauty, in addition to good taste. This woman has strong emotions and passions, a stable temperament, and sense of devotion. Remember, didn't she, who was the baseball player that she was married to for a while?
Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah, even though they went through all back and forth and all things, her and DiMaggio, that was the love of her life.
Right.
She has a good heart, another product of racial hygiene. So this is something coming in from the, the Nazi, racial thing.
Okay.
In general, she is artistic and has a high degree of self-awareness, decency, tact, and an independent lifestyle, and she certainly had a very independent lifestyle. She is the best type for intellectual companionship with men who are intellectual, professional, or spiritually advanced.
Well,
and that's the one.
She did later marry a playwright.
Right. And so she's not the dumb blonde that she plays. These smart guys, are attracted to her, and evidently she gets along with them. And this is straight out of this was written before she was born.
Right.
I imagine. Like the classy-like woman, when she has marital problems, it is because the mate has not understood her disposition or desires. And that's exactly, her situation with men, because they didn't quite understand where she was coming from.
And just in case anybody thinks, I do that playwright was Arthur Miller.
Is that who that was?
Arthur Miller.
How many times was she married? She married DiMaggio and Miller, and she was with JFK too, right? She wasn't married, but...
Well, no, she didn't marry JFK, obviously.
There's perks to being president.
It's possible to both of the Kennedys. Is that true?
Maybe.
Possibly. That's a conspiracy theory. We have to have a whole conspiracy theory show just about that.
Hey, I got something, Professor. Where is Jimmy Hoffa buried? What do you think? What would you, if you had, do you need time, or do you think in your mind you've had thoughts about it?
No, it's what they say. He's in that, underneath that sports place.
Think he's under Giant Stadium?
Yeah, they put him under Giant Stadium. He's under the,
I think he's in the swamp surrounding Giant Stadium. I don't know if he's actually in Giant Stadium.
No, I honestly think that the mobsters, I think they have like dog food. They own a dog food company.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they use.
They might. That'd be a good way to get rid of it, huh?
Right. So if he's buried, I think that the thing that as a statement to the rest of the world, they would have done something like that. But if they don't really want to get caught, and they're not going to get caught, then they just they do the dog food thing. Plus, I think they own a bunch of mortuaries too. So
right, double stuff a coffin, right?
Yeah, so I think it's pretty easy, for those guys.
Now, when I was working for the mafia, wait, never mind.
It's the Casa Nostra. I mean, you gotta. They've been around for so long. You got to be pretty good at what you're doing.
I think so. I think so.
It can't be that hard to outsmart the police.
No. Well, now they are the police and the government.
Oh, man.
After you buy them out for so long, you just buy the whole company, you know?
And our whole conspiracy theory show starts now.
Now. Woo! Anyway, guys.
I do think it would be good to do a little thing on JFK every week. I think that would be awesome.
Let's do it. JFK conspiracy.
Right, because there's so many angles. I mean, there's thousands of different angles. There's people that predicted it. There were people that made predictions that he was going to be killed.
Right. Just like the thousands of different angles he could have been shot from.
Okay.
Yes.
Back and to the right. Back and to the right.
And, well, what gets me is, they were after that one guy, and they said, oh, he was in the CIA. He was in the CIA. And they said, no, he never was. And then now we find out, hey, guess what? The CIA now admits he worked for the CIA.
That's it.
So
which guy?
So how do you go against that kind of stuff?
Which guy are we talking about?
The guy they put on trial in New Orleans.
Oh, okay. I know who you mean. Yes. Okay.
Right. That guy, they said he was in the CIA, and of course the CIA never stood up and said, yes, he's one of us.
And now my useless information is failing me because I can't remember his name. But sorry, folks, you'll have to Google that one.
But hey, guys, we're running out of time here.
But it just goes to show you that later they say, oh yes, he did work for us, but it wasn't that important at the time.
Yeah.
We let you know. You may have misunderstood, so we didn't tell you.
Yeah, some stuff that's happened is just insane, man. People just said, well, what are you going to do? You take their word for it. What are you going to do,
Mm-hmm.
So, well, that's it, Demon Hunter. We're running out of time. What do you think?
Oh, man. Really?
We are. The hour is upon us. The witching hour is 30 minutes from now.
But, we're just getting into Oswald.
I know. We got a long way to go back to Genghis Khan.
I was about to throw out all the stuff I learned on X-Files. Oh, man. Okay. Professor, you'll be back.
I'm ready, and we'll get some of these leg readings rolling. Let's hope if the Ravens win, then you guys have hit a home run on this show.
That's it. That's it? Home run?
Because I don't think you even thought the Ravens would.
And that number 3 keeps popping in my head, so I'm thinking they're winning by 3 points.
Wow.
Now, has your prediction for the G&D show stayed the same, Professor? Have you had any other visions or anything like that?
My prediction for the what?
G&D show, Ghostman and Demon Hunter show, the one you're on right now, sir.
This show is going to the top.
All right.
It's going to the top. It's amazing what's going to happen. And I've added to the prediction, this is like a self-fulfilling prediction, that one of your shows will be broadcast from Orlando. All three of us will be in the same room, broadcasting from the same room.
It's dangerous when Sean and I get in the same room. It's
Then you throw Professor in there, and it's going to poop in a handbasket.
I imagine the alcohol bill might be really high.
Now, is it true that if you go to the devil's chair and drink a beer and leave it there, the devil comes up and steals your beer?
You leave the beer there. Yeah, you just leave the beer there, and it's gone the next day.
So it could be a show with the Ghostman Sean B., Nathan S., a.k.a. the Demon Hunter, the Professor Slim King, and the devil. I see Oscar right here. It's going to make a movie.
Coming soon in January. Wait, January's past. Coming soon in March.
Right. That's amazing. But the JREF, the James Randi Educational Foundation, has already called the Lake Helen Police Department, who actually is responsible for keeping people out of there, and told them that I will be trying to sneak in there and contact the devil. Did you know that?
Really?
Really?
Yes. Yes. So there's the $1 million thing is they're trying to stifle it before it even gets started.
Nice.
So that's good for us, man. Let's go.
You know what? The devil and me, we're like this. You can't see it. So it's I'll give him a call. Put something together.
Does he like dark beer? Or?
Is he a Guinness man or a light? or a pale ale. But hey, guys, we are going to have to pull out of here.
He likes his beer very chill.
That's it. That's it.
I would imagine.
Hey, from the haunted back roads of America, special thanks, guys, to the Professor, Slim King, Donna Viskoff, Jason Butler, and Midnight Syndicate soon to come, guys. And live from the GD Studios, this has been your Ghostman and Demon Hunter show, guys. Have a great week. We love you. Don't do nothing we wouldn't do.
That doesn't mean much. Good night, everyone.
Nice.